there! Today is one of my vacation days, and I would like to take the opportunity to use this perfect weather for a comparison review. Because both bows I have shoot the first time, although this is not entirely true, you'll see in a bit, and comparison because there are two. And maybe you guess already, it's about the SiCai. I had reviewed my SiCai Take-Down version a while ago. I think it was this year or last year, I don't remember anymore. I wanted to have a take-down version so that if we travel, I can take the bow with me and then shoot there. Indeed, I don't do it. Yeah, so whenever we go for a ride or vacation time, I don't take a bow with me. So indeed, I didn't need the takedown feature. Although it's very nice because you have more weight in the handle, which is then more pleasant with the sound, with the vibration and all that stuff. But yeah, if you have a feature you don't use, this is not really, worth it. Although it was a very good feature. Mario had bought this bow from me. He wanted to bring the bow to the Korean archery days, and then all of a sudden, it's sold. So I cannot compare the bow physically today, but I have still the specs. And that's the reason why I have ordered a SiCai on my own at Bamboo Archery. And furthermore, I have asked AF if I can test the 3K white eyes as well. And so we have now these two bows. And they are here. And first of all, you may notice that they are very similar but not the same, although it's the same bow. The handle here of the 3K is deeper than my version, and that's the most obvious thing, and the rest is the veneer. We come now first of all to the specs. Okay, since there are a lot of numbers now, I'll go through a bit line by line so that we have a direct comparison. I start with the 3K, go down with the Golden Sandalwood with the carbon core and the red techno wood version, and then last my takedown version that I had originally. Okay, length knock to knock should be the same. It is the same, 57.5. Strung, it varies a tiny bit. This is because of the string length, but nevertheless that was I have measured. So 51.5 for the 3K and my takedown version, my previous, and 51 with a carbon core now. Nominal strength at 28 is 40 with the white eyes. It's 38 with the carbon core and 35 with the takedown version. The effective strength we'll see in a bit. Max draw 34 for all of them. Brace height again varies due to the string length, between 7.3 and 7.8. Arrow pass is thinner now. It's 18.8 for the white eyes and 18.5 for the carbon core, and it was 20.3 with my old version. The weight varies due to the takedown feature that is now not available, and the materials. We have 470 for the white eyes, 430 for the carbon core, and it was 500 for the takedown version. The zia length is similar. It varies between 19 inches and 18 inches for both sides, and the handle length varies between 12.5 now and 13 inches in former times. We have a bending length calculated of 26 with the white ice, 27 with the carbon core, and 26.5 with the takedown feature. So you see, based on the geometry values, that it's made by hand. Yeah, so if you fade out a little lighter, so the fade out is a bit longer, you have a shorter bending length or a longer zia length, because I always use or try to find the spot where the section fades out. It's here. Yeah, and if it's a tiny bit different, then this is the variation. The handle thickness, though, is maybe due to the one who has sanded the section. I don't know. Yeah. So means all bows have the same ratio, means 0.59. The minimum arrow weight is not given by AF, so I used the AF Archery table, and due to the length of the bow and the length of the zia, it's 12 grain per pound recommended. Means for the white ice I should have something with 460, for the carbon core it would be probably 440, and with the takedown was 450. I will use arrows that are heavier than that and calculate down then to 9 grain per pound, because then we can compare the speed with any other of the bows I have measured so far, because it makes then more sense. Okay, price of the bow. For the white ice I don't know yet. My carbon core version would cost 431 euro, and the takedown feature it was 436 euro, but this was a little bit some time back, and prices have risen since then. That's the reason why, all including shipping. Hand painted art is not an option, so we don't have this feature. All right, coming to the materials. For the white ice we have obviously ice beech wood veneer. For the golden sandalwood, of course, the golden sandalwood. They have all bamboo inside. We have on the belly limb a carbon layer at the white ice. We have with the sandalwood the wood veneer again. We have at all bear paw clear fiberglass, and this bear paw fiberglass has sometimes a few stripes, so then you can see the glass in it. Yeah, we know this. It's not that recognizable if the wood is light, but if it's darker you can see it easily on spots. The special for the carbon core and the takedown, it was that we have a carbon core inside. So it's not a layer on the belly side, it's inside the, I would say, the somehow called neutral fiber, so in the middle. The zias, they are all made of bamboo and phenolic resin reinforcement, so this is all the same. You may have a bit decoration with a wood veneer. Spring bridge, today it's technical wood with a 3K, and also with my version of the carbon core, and it was yeah, and it was golden sandalwood with my previous takedown version. The handle is now techno wood inside, so the whole section. With the white ice it's dark, let's say black or very dark brown, and my version is red, so I wanted to give it a highlight somehow. And with my previous takedown it was golden sandalwood. They all have an overlay, this varies always a bit, and they have a cow leather wrap today, which is a bit harder, and my Take-Down had a more softer leather and wrapped around. All bows have arrow pass inlay made of cow bone. The string is dark one for all of them. Okay, these are the specs. I wanted to check something. So my SiCai version, I always say my because this is the one I have paid for. The other one has been friendly given by AF. So here we have 34.6 millimeters. I tried to find a similar spot here as well. It's approximately here. And you see this limb is a little wider. It's 35.9. Yeah? It's all handmade. Yeah, so the limbs are a bit wider, and you can see it, I think, a tiny bit. Of course, the wood veneer does something in itself as well, but we can measure it. Try it. Yes. Yeah, you can see the different handles very easily. Okay, then let's start with the strength. "28 inches is approximately here. 47.4. And with the carbon core, also here, 38.3. So from my perspective, this is on spot. I have ordered a 38-pound version, and yeah, I mean, come on, this is really on spot. What shall I say? So precisely what's written on the bow, and it's written on the bow. So I have reviewed a few bows recently that had nothing written on it. So at least we have here the poundage, which is very good. Right. This means if I check my comparison checklist, we had the chapter design more or less. So the variations we have talked about and the ratio of the bows are the same indeed. And now we would come to the chapter 2, performance. Shooting. I show you the handle fitting first. So this is how it looks with my hand. You can see that the handle is smaller than usual because the gap is not as large as with other bows. And furthermore, you can see here traces because I have checked yesterday, because I was so curious, if these arrows would be suitable for this bow. And since the weather was not that good yesterday, I couldn't take the whole video. Okay, so I will use these ones. These have a spine of 600, a weight of 550 grain, and yeah, yesterday it worked nicely with a symmetrical ring. There was one to the left. So the bow, if I put it here, has some kind of vibration somewhere. I couldn't identify what it is. Something like metallic but at the shot the sound is very nice. Center. So it still has a woof, but it's a nice dark sound. So different than if you just pull the string. Goes off again. And so the handle is relatively small, but still fits for my hand. For a male hand, this is not, maybe a bit too small, but yeah, okay. These arrows here have 510 grain and a spine of 500. To the left, but not that much to the left. The right direction, not too high. Center. So effectively it doesn't matter which one of the arrows I use, as long as I point in the right direction. Okay, and now we would like to see the 3K. Handle fitting first. You see much more space here, but I'm fine with larger handles. So this is known. So I didn't shoot this bow before. Let's try with the heavier arrows before. To the left. So the spine is weaker, so that's why. Center. Too low. The sound is very nice too, so if I pull here, it has a very tiny bit this metallic as well, but not as prominent as with my version, and overall it's darker. The 500 grain arrows, 510 and 500 spine. Bit to the left and above. More or less the same. I don't have a knocking point yet here set. That's why the tendency is to spray more. A bit to the right. Show you. So the tendency is that with the 500 spine arrows, I'm in this area here, and with the weaker spine, it sprays a little more. Although with the carbon core version, with the red handle, these ones are closer to the center. So I will split that up. The carbon core version with the red handle will be shot with the red arrows, and the 3K with the golden arrows. Well, the sound is very nice with both of the bows. At least I think so. Close to the center. So since I'm not in a hurry, I can take my time for the shot. Too low because I don't want to damage my first arrow. So we have a small boom after the shot. The draw is very smooth, so it builds up nicely. It starts here. There you have already tension. The amount of tension so it's not much, but it's already there after the beginning, the first inch or so. What else? So the handle still feels good, but if I were you, I would probably ask for a thicker handle if you have a big hand. That's then easier, I guess. So for very small handles like the SiCai Short Plus, I have thickened up as well because it was too small for me. Otherwise I don't have a proper grip. Here I still have it, so we still see a gap here, so it's enough for my hand. What else? So what I really like is that this veneer is very nicely, it has a nice pattern, and it's very even on both sides, and we have only very small traces where we can see the glass thing. I have here two small spots from the clear coat, but overall it's very nice. Yes, very nice. And I think this red techno wood is very cool in combination with the gold sandalwood, so we have overall a very warm but nevertheless eye-striking design or color scheme. We can clearly see where the bamboo core, the carbon core runs through. It's here. It starts more or less a few millimeters below the back, runs then all along here, is then in the center of the limb, and goes then fades out here with the handle section, and it looks it's on the upper edge of the handle, and then runs to the other side as well. So it's more on the outer side, on the back side, than in the inner side. So if we have here then, maybe I need to show this then later again in Résumé, we have no carbon core here in the center, we have bamboo, but we have a very thin, I cannot see this clearly how thick this is. I think it's similar to what we have here. I cannot measure it, but it looks eye-wise the same as we have here as a core, but it runs on the belly side. Okay, next round. Here. So if you want to know if there is a significant difference between the carbon core version and the white eyes, significant not. It makes a boom as well. There is for both bows no big vibration afterwards, but I double check with the next round vibration setting. Oops. Oh yeah. Sometimes these knocks sometimes sounds good, but then they go off. So all to the left. I could check with the red once again, so maybe the 500 spine. Yeah, this center. Seems that the bow or these two like the 600 spine. Yeah. I'll show you. So the red arrows are all in the right direction. I can now switch from the symmetric to the asymmetric ring. So the bows are very much alike of their weight, but nevertheless you feel this bow here is a little lighter. I'm sorry about the planes. We live nearby an airport, and so we have a lot of airplanes flying here. Center. There is. Let's double check. This is just. You feel the arrow leaving the string, then it's a very small shake, and that's it. It's not hand shock. Hand shock is different. Yeah, it's just boom, and then it's gone. So whenever you pull the string and you let it flip, the string hits the grooves here of the string bridge, the integrated string bridge, and so this is clear that you feel it, that you have shot. And so for those who are not familiar, yeah, this is normal. Yeah. Okay, but yeah. It's very rare that you do not feel anything at all. I have the feeling that it's a little less with this one. It has a bit more power, so the grain per pound is a little less with this one. Check again. Next round. So again, I now focus on the feeling after the shot. I try now not to hit my back with the bow, because then every vibration stops. It's very small. I think I hit the string. It's very thin, and then it's gone. And here, if I do it like this, 1, 2, 3, gone. Like this. 1, 2, 3, gone. So this is similar. I think I've touched it again and stopped vibration. It feels a nanosecond shorter, but this is very hard to measure. that much less. But this is really, it's just an impression you have, but I cannot verify by measurements. Since I always hit the string, the oscillation stops immediately, and I try to avoid it. Yeah, but I can't. I think maybe if I do it like this. Then I finish. So I need to do it like this. So now we don't care about style. One, two, three, go. So then we have the vibration that is similar to what I have if I just pull the string. Now with the carbon core. Keep the string. And let's do it again. I didn't count from the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's a little bit more vibration wise. Okay. Speed test. We start with the carbon core, and we use always the same arrows. So they have a span of 600 and 550 grain. Okay. Shoot with the asymmetrical ring, so it's 100% the same setup, only the bow is varied. Oops. 142. 145. So since the arrows are quite heavy, around 13 grain per pound or so, I don't expect high values in this one. 147. So 3K. 153. 149. 152. So I calculate now down to the 9 grain per pound, and then we talk. Okay, I've done the math, and so we had for the 3K an average speed of 151.3 and with a carbon core of 144.7. For the 3K we had 13.5 grain per pound, and with a carbon core it was 14.636. Calculate down both to 9 grain per pound. We would reach 184.4 with the 3K and 190.2 with the carbon core. So means both bows are shooting, accelerating the arrows fast. It depends on the arrow weight, what you get out of it. So I usually tend to be more on the heavy side to get all the energy of the bow into the arrow. Of course, if you want to win a speed test, you should go down as much as possible if the bow breaks. So usually I don't want my bows to break, and that's why I do it. 12 grain per pound would be better. So it's a bit too heavy. I'll double check if I can use one of the 400 grain arrows for later shooting. Although I think the bows sound very nice, so I don't have the impression that they are overloaded with a heavy arrow. Okay, so speed-wise, the carbon core wins. Regarding the feeling, the 3K wins. So performance is about the feeling at first, so they are both very similar. The draw experience is very nice for both, so I don't feel difference there. But after the shot, I have a tiny bit longer vibration with the carbon core and a tiny bit less with the white eyes. Accuracy is the same, so I couldn't find really a difference because they have the same arrow path width, and it depends on me where the arrow goes. So it's not about the arrow path because they are the same. Speed-wise, we can see a difference. It's not that obvious in the beginning, but you can calculate it down then. If you use the reference for 9 grain per pound, it's then obvious that the SiCai with the carbon core is one of my fastest bows. Okay, then we can enter the next chapter, which is beauty and effort. Okay, chapter 3, beauty and effort. About the prices, we have talked already in the beginning. I have given you the specs, materials and also. So price-wise, I cannot really compare the white eyes with the carbon core because I don't know the price. But the beauty I can compare. Okay. So the veneer is a matter of taste. Yeah, I like the golden sandalwood very much, but I also like the white eyes very much. So I have a bow, a recurve Take-Down, that has this veneer or wood as well. So this is a very beautiful wood. And the color combination here is very nice. We have the white surface, let's say bright, it's not really white. The string is white, but yeah, there is no white wood. Yeah, so it's very bright ice. What did I say? Ice beech wood. Ice beech wood. The actual wood here is very dark, so potentially it's called black, although I can see brown spots. In combination with the carbon layer, it's very nicely and very elegant. If you are a friend of carbon look, this is the bow for you, because carbon, yeah. For me, this is a technical feature, and for me, it doesn't need to be prominent. Yeah, if it's there, it's good, but it's not necessarily something that I want to see as a veneer. I have the Turkish bow by Bamboo Archery that has this veneer as well, or the carbon, yeah, visible on the back. So I'm used to it. Yeah, okay. But if I have a natural material like wood, I always prefer it. What else? If you have the bear paw glass, you can see the glass structure more easily on a dark or black veneer, like here. So we have here these stripes running down, and if this wood would be ash wood, for example, you wouldn't even notice it, you wouldn't be able to see it. But since we have a contrast between the glass fibers and the carbon, we can see it. Yeah, so be aware that this can be, it doesn't have any effect on the performance. What else? So the back is very nicely protected against overheating, whereas the belly isn't. So this can heat up easily. Yeah, so this is one of the bows I wouldn't leave strung in the sun. Okay. The AeroPass protection is very nice. So usually if you have the round inlays, because you can screw it in, not screw it, drill. You can drill it in and then it's easily to insert, better than another shape. But arrows do not necessarily hit the bow only in the area that is an AeroPass. So usually there is something. I will glue on my special tape to protect the bow further, but I didn't want to do it in the first place so that you can see what it does. So this is how I can do it in the moment. I always try not to touch the bow, but yeah, I'm not perfect. What else? The color of the string matches the bow, basically. Yeah, this is fine. Dacron has a lot of colors, so could be a brown as well, I could imagine, or a black. Black would be good. To be more specific on this one. The center serving is really long. If we have here the arrow, yeah, there's a lot of material, which is not necessarily for the performance. Maybe it would even be better to reduce the center serving to this only, to the half. And the string bridges are very nicely made, so have a look. So this is just made for each other. Really nice, like that a lot. And yeah, so the build is very nice too. So we do not have any sharp edges or whatsoever where you think, what's that? And we have a different zia here, which is a bit more pronounced than with my version. I can show it like this, try to do it. Maybe you can see it here. Oh yeah, I don't know. Okay, coming now to my bow. Going in the opposite order, we see as well a lot of string wrapping or center serving. This is a bit low here, it's still working nicely, but then you can remove all this. This will never be used. Makes it easier to identify which one is the bottom and which one is the top. Yeah, so this is all nicely working. For this bow, I could imagine a red string as well, which would match the center. But I do understand that if you create hundreds of strings, you have one material that's for all. And so, yeah, the white is okay as well, because we have white here in the overlays and in the AeroPass protection. So, all nice. The build is very nice too, except these two spots that I have seen before. We have no flaws, and we have very hardly visible the glass traces here, the glass fibers. So very good, work very well. Now you can say, "Oh, golden sandalwood, why?" Yeah, this is a special wood. Yeah, you don't have many bows with golden sandalwood, and sometimes, so it's always a bit different, of course. because it's a natural material, and sometimes it looks like tiger fur. This one doesn't. It's sometimes a bit brighter, like here, so it's relatively dark veneer this time. So whenever you have a golden sandalwood, somehow it's different. Here you can have the impression in this area of the tiger fur. And usually you have some kind of a golden shimmer as well, so that's the reason why it's called like that. In my eyes, a very beautiful veneer. What else? Here the techno wood has very nice shimmer as well. It has a metallic shimmer. Very cool. I wonder why this handle is not as deep as the other, but yeah, as you have seen, it worked for me as well. But if this is crucial to you, I would mention it if you order that the handle shouldn't be too small or too thin. Okay, what else? So now I need to say which one is more beautiful, right? Very subjective. Back-wise, both. Yeah, so I cannot say which one I like more. From the belly side, I would say the golden sandalwood, because yeah, carbon is so, it's not that vivid, and so I prefer the vivid structure, the natural material. So put these both back, note down. So it has 2 pluses for the carbon core and 1 plus for the 3K. The next point would be complexity of painting. We do not have it. Technical usage. So for example, if there's something black, matte or dark brown, naja, depends where you are. For example, if you are in the snow, this one would be less easy to identify. But if you are where we are normally are, somehow here in this environment or so, we have this brown color, which is then more invisible if you are in the woods. So for technical usage, the dark color would be beneficial. So it always depends which environment you have. So there are some hares that change their fur color due to environment. In the winter they are white, and in summertime they are brown. Yeah. So let's say there is no winner in this case, because, yeah, it depends. So they both have a plus. Heating up potential. I mentioned it before, so the white ice has a minimal heating up potential on the back, but it has on the belly. The golden sandalwood is relatively dark this time, and so the heating up potential is here higher. So that would be a plus for the 3K. And yeah, sound. Sound-wise, starting with the 3K. So it's a nice dark sound. We have a high tone somewhere, a little metallic tone. Don't know where this is coming from. It's not coming from my ring, even if I would hold it only with the fingers. Somewhere, it must be somewhere here in the string bridges, but I don't know why. But the sound is very nice, dark and full. So maybe you hear the metallic section of the sound is more prominent. It is higher. So the sound is definitely nicer with the 3K. Maintenance and effort, they're both easy. You string them, you shoot them, you unstring them, ready. Yeah, so there is nothing special you need to take care of. Just as usual, take care of the bow, and as I said before, don't let it lie strung in the sun. But that's it. Yeah, so they're both fine. There is no problem with this one. So now I do the evaluation and then I tell you the result. Okay, Résumé. What do I think of the two SiCai bows? First of all, they are all both very beautiful. And they are nicely made. There are variations of the handle. We have, of course, variations in the veneer, which is typical. This is nature. And we have small variations in the string length, but this is all fine. Yeah, so they are not made by machines, but by human beings. And so we have a bit of a difference with every bow. And I think this is interesting and makes it more, fun to get the bow and see what you get. Basically, you have the same shape, but the small details can vary. Here in my comparison today, it was very close for both. Yeah, so there is no where you say it's obvious that the one or the other wins. They have both features that are better than the other, or they perform better as the other, but this is just a tiny bit. To summarize, for example, the design, since there is no master Ming bow, I didn't compare to a master. And so it's, for me, I compare to SiCai bows. They have both the same ratio still. And so the chapter design that I usually have is, here in this case, more or less obsolete. Performance-wise, the feeling after the shot was a little nicer with the 3K. Due to the vibration that was a tiny bit longer with the carbon core. But the draw is very nice for both. Since the 3K is 40 pound and the carbon core 38 pound, it was a bit stronger for the 3K to pull, but the drawing curve, you can see it in the beginning of the video, they are both nice. Yeah, so this is only the vibration after the shot that gave the 3K a little plus. Accuracy was more or less the same with the two. There was no advantage for one of them. They have both the same arrow path, with it's not a matter of the bow which one is easier to shoot or to hit the center with. Speed-wise, we could identify a winner, and this is the carbon core, with 190 feet per second versus the 184 feet per second. So here as well, it's not a big difference, but there is a difference. What else? Beauty. This is my personal taste, so I like wood more than carbon, and that's the reason why the carbon core got 2 pluses, because he has the veneer on both sides, and the 3K got 1 plus because he has it on one side. The technical usage is the same for both, depends on the circumstances. So the white K got the plus if you're in the snow, and the carbon core if you're in the woods. Heating up potential is a little better if the bow is not lying that way in the sun. Yeah, but in the end, yeah, we can discuss about that one. The sound is nicer with the 3K. Yeah, it's more dark sound, whereas the carbon core has a higher sound. It's not that full, with a higher tendency of these metallic sounds. Maintenance and effort, they are both nice. So overall, the 3K got 6 pluses and the carbon core got 5 pluses. And now we can discuss about the heating up potential. If you do not agree, then it's vice versa. So this is this one point that makes a difference. So they're very close, and now it depends on what you focus on. If you focus on the sound, then the 3K is a little nicer, and the bigger handle could be something, but the speed-wise, the carbon core wins. They are both awesome, and it's great that I could test both here in my garden. If I would have still my take-down version here, it would be even more interesting, so we would even have more to talk about. But yeah, Mario is happy with the bow, and this is nice too. Okay, thanks AF Archery and Shan for building these bows and for the opportunity to let me test one of the 3K in my garden. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. And thanks for crafting these nice bows. And I like that they are all somehow unique. So it's obvious that it's not made by machines. And for all of you, thank you very much for watching. Wish you a pleasant weekend and a good start into the next week. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.